In a world where two short-term rental bros come together.
What?
Not in that way, bro. There's a podcast of truly epic proportions where we talk about all things short-term rental and shoot the shit along the way. Welcome to the Co-Host Bros Podcast. Here are your hosts, Matt Codd and Austin Spitz.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Co-Host Bros Podcast. My name is Matt, and I'm here with my buddy Austin Spitz. Today we're going to do a Q&A episode. So the questions you ask are the questions we answer. You submit us questions, we shoot an answer. Real simple, easy to do. What is going on, Austin?
What's up, man? How are you doing? You doing all right? I know we're both on the 75 hard journey. You still tapped in? You still alive? You still making it? What's up?
Living the dream, still hanging on strong. I think we're on day 11 now. So
yeah, I think we coincidentally started on the same day, but I don't think we discussed that. I think it was like destiny. I started and you started, and now we're on day 11. Yeah.
It happened on a podcast. Well, it's funny because I started actually a day before that, and then I failed that day the first day when I was stuck in the airport, and then I was like, all right, fine, I'll restart tomorrow. Because something happened and I couldn't do something. There was some excuse. And then I was like, all right, let's go. And then we talked about it on a different podcast. And I was like, oh, what day you're on? You're like, I'm day 4. And I'm like, I'm on day 4. It's weird.
That's crazy. Yeah, I got
great minds think alike.
45-minute workout. I got my outdoor workout. It's raining, so that's going to be tough. I got my 10 pages left. Still got my water. So we got a mountain to climb for today, but that's all good. So, ready to jump into some SDR talk or what?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd go out there with you in the rain. Are you using the app, or do you have like a checklist? Okay. Yeah, I found the app was a lot better. I got the app this time. Last time I didn't use the app, so I feel like it keeps me more accountable with the pictures and everything else. You know.
Yeah, I haven't cheated yet. I will not continue to do it and be dishonest if I was. But it's funny if you like forget to check something. You like wake up and open the app, and like Andy Frisella's right there with his arms folded, and he's like, "Did you cheat? You didn't finish." Have you seen that?
No, I have not.
If you're using the app, just like finish for today and like leave one thing unchecked. And then when the next day you can still like go back in and say, yeah, I did it. I just forgot. And you have him there. And it's funny. I think it's hilarious. But anyways,
I saw something where it said, did you actually do this? Or did you actually like, I clicked something and it was like, all right, maybe I went to unclick it and it was like, did you actually not do this or something? And I'm like, okay. So yeah. What book are you reading?
Per your recommendation, and honestly, because it's a good fit with where am in business now, I'm reading The Pumpkin Plan, I think, by Mike Michalowicz. I follow his Profit First plan for all of our accounting and our business. So I was excited when you kind of told me to pick that one up, and it's very relatable, and I'm liking it. How about you?
It's a good book. I'm reading a book called Do the New You by Stephen Furtick. I picked it up at the airport because I started 75 hard and I needed to find some kind of book. And it's 6 mindsets, I guess, to become who you were created to be. So I'm almost about halfway through with it. And then after that, I plan to read How to Influence Friends and something out of Dale Carnegie's book. I can't remember what it was called already.
How to win friends and influence people.
Yeah, so it's sitting on my nightstand for the next I don't know, I guess after this, by the time I finish this, probably be day 20, so the next 20 days after that. We'll see.
Yeah. I don't think I've read that either, but I think it's definitely on my list. And I think it's like after a lot of podcasts and successful people that you listen to, that's often a name that's always thrown out there as like one of the favorite books or most impactful books. So definitely would be a good read for you.
Yeah, I'm listening to Psycho Cybernetics too, but I'm listening to that. But I may go back and listen to I had the name on the tip of my tongue and then I forgot it. And when I remember it, I will say it. But I can't For some reason, I can't remember what the book is called, but I listened to it once, and I was like thinking to myself, "Oh, I need to listen to this again, probably just to see." Um, for me to read it. Oh, Think and Grow Rich. So that's why I was thinking, like, I need to listen to that book again. Because I really enjoyed it when I listened to it. But sometimes I was out there, walking and zoning out, not paying attention. So
Yeah.
probably, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still going to read books because I'm required to read the books, but I do listen to books
There you go.
as well.
Cool. Well, let's jump into it. I was just going to talk about today. It's not really a question, but I wanted to one of the updates that Airbnb implemented, and I talked about previously on a podcast, but I wanted to kind of get into it, see what you think about it, and see if there's anyone out there as a host that actually is excited about this. But now it seems that Airbnb is kind of encouraging guests to add other people to the booking that have Airbnb accounts. So, from a host perspective, I'm getting all these notifications. Fred added Alex, Johnny, Susie, Sarah to the booking. And now all these guests, if you house, 16, 20 guests in a house, if you're hosting these people, they can be messaging the guest as well. What do you think about that? What are your thoughts on this update? You with it or what?
Uh, well, the reason they're doing it obviously is to get more people to sign up for the platform, but I think it's good and bad. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you can go and see, like, if they add these people, if you can go and see their profile and then see if they have reviews or not separately. I'm not sure if you can do that. I haven't had that situation happen to me yet. I thought I was with my last booking, but I didn't. Thank God. But I think it's good and bad that way if that's possible, for you to be able to vet people easier. But at the same time, like, you shouldn't be getting like 1,000 messages from different people staying at your house. I mean, that's dumb. That's a waste of
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. I think especially if you're like, a solo operator and you're the one dealing with all of it, I guess if it's dumped on your VA, that still kind of sucks, but it's not necessarily, your problem. So I think it's you can go to their profile and you can see other people staying in your house and they have their Airbnb account, so you can see their reviews. But yeah, I just think it's too much point of contact. And then you're giving people access to the messages that aren't financially liable. So it's like you're not paying the bill and you're the one that's going to be messaging me. So I don't know. It's just I'm not big on it, but Airbnb is the boss. They are the marketing platform that we use, and I'd rather have them than not have them. But I'm not thrilled about this addition.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird too because Airbnb will do a lot of things and then Verbo will copy them, like with forced cancellations and things like that. They can't, charging you if you don't have a reason to cancel, those kinds of things. But they won't follow them when it comes to making the app better or making or streamlining something, right? So it's like you have to use two different apps, all that kind of stuff. But it's just funny to me, like, you're steal some stuff from them, but then you don't take the things that are actually good. Glad they didn't. Actually, if Verbo did get like multiple guests together with a message form, I don't think I'd give a shit because most of the people that come through Verbo anyway don't even read the text messages or the messages. You have to like text them or call them. But yeah, I don't think it's more work for you, and it shouldn't be that way. I mean, I don't read group text now. It would be
Yeah.
tough. I don't know. I think it'd be tough. Have you had issues with that where people have like somebody else? Oh, hey, this is Frank, and I'm in the other master bedroom at the Coastal Canyon, and I want to know what the Wi-Fi password is. Has that happened to you yet?
Not yet because it's a new update. So now they're just starting. The bookings haven't caught up to when that applies. So like now that's happening. So we'll see how much I get hammered from that. I don't know, but it's coming. It's definitely coming. The thing about VRBO that I would say to touch on is like they have to be working on something in the back end to have something that is set up like a co-host feature like Airbnb does, where it's simply just plug and play and you can add properties as the manager. They've got to have something set up like that because it's a pain to operate a management company through VRBO.
Yeah, there has to, I mean, hopefully there's a better way eventually at some point. Oh, I did see, I mean, off the subject, it's not a question of the day, but did you see that touch stay got bought?
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook. I don't know what that means though.
Yeah, we'll see. I know I saw, I think I saw you comment on it, but yeah, I got an email about it. It's interesting. I mean, things are getting bought. So when are you guys buying the co-host bros? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's good. I hope that happens. I don't know. It's like I always say, whenever we're running our co-hosting business or just operating one property, like you have two monitors and 13 different tabs open just to use all the applications that you need to run a short-term rental business. You have everything is just different. So I don't know. Consolidation is good. I think if it makes things simplified to where you don't need so many applications open at once and you just have one centralized platform, maybe like hotels have, where you can do everything in there. But with our space being still kind of young, I guess that's just hasn't happened yet. So I think that's a good thing, and hopefully, I look forward to it.
Yeah, we're getting there. I mean, we are. So leaps and bounds from what you could do prior. So there's
Right.
that. You have other questions? What other questions we have? Or I mean, I think I have a question if you want to
No, I'll just talk about
shoot
one
it.
thing. Yeah, do you have you ever implemented or do you plan on implementing guest insurance, or just wait and see what happens? What's your thoughts on certain something like that?
Yeah, so I have like my own insurance. I don't have like guest insurance per se, but I do have my own insurance to where my stuff is covered. Um, as far as the damages, I'm not. I mean, I have liability things like that, but I'm not too concerned if people damage furniture. It's a small unit. They damage towels, then I'll have to pay for it. Or, I mean, I'll do the best I can to recruit through Airbnb. But as far as like the towels and stuff, it's the cost of doing business. My my bed frames and my couch and it's all super durable. I mean, my stuff's all like a year old, and I went as there last week, and it all looks brand new still. So it's like I'm not too concerned with the wear and tear, but I do have things to cover me in case there's like somebody falls down the stairs, things like that. Someone breaks a wine glass, then I'm just gonna buy some wine glasses. But I heard that you implemented some insurance recently, so let's talk about it.
Yeah, sure. So I'll talk about the three structures. Like if you have a co-hosting business that you need obviously insurance for the property that you own. You need insurance for your management company, and then you don't need, but it's optional to have guest insurance. So you can have basically what the insurance. So we decided to sign all our properties up on Wavo, and it's a charge per booking that they cover, and it's from incidentals. They have a $1,500 $3,000 I guess what they cover. So we do the 1,500 for incidentals, and I think it's, don't quote me because it maybe changed their price, $28 or something like that per booking, and we just charge that back to the guest. And I was implementing it because we were having issues. And what I don't like about the structure is that Airbnb, VRBO, these travel agencies, they are a middleman and have to pick a side. So you don't have. It could be you could be completely screwed and the guest doesn't pay it. Like somebody threw up in one of the rentals and my cleaner has an additional puke fee, whatever the case may be. So something like that where they declined it and then Airbnb paid me back. So that was fine. I never needed it. But there's other instances where Airbnb and VRBO, they'll err on the side of the traveler. They won't take your side. So you, from a co-host, you're like, okay, well, now I got to go back to the owners, talk to them, tell them what happened. They're going to be, upset about this because now they're out of pocket because it's not really cost of doing business for me. It's cost of doing business for them because it's their property. So
Right.
they're screwed. So anyways, we put it into play, and I think I'm 3 for 3 on getting paid out on guest insurance. And the best thing about it is like what I like so far. We'll see. I haven't been screwed yet, but what I like so far is you don't have to involve the online travel agencies at all. Get rid of the middleman, and then you don't have to involve the owners at all because you're going to pay for the thing to get it fixed, and then you're going to get reimbursed back. So it's just a great way to get things fixed. And then you charge the traveler an extra whatever fee, management fee, admin fee, whatever on their booking. So they pay for the additional insurance on your property, making your life easier. So it just makes the ticket of the Airbnb booking higher. But all in all, I think it was a great addition and I'm happy with it so far.
That's what I was going to ask you. So how are you billing that? You're not adding it to the nightly rate though. You're adding as additional fee.
Yeah. So on Airbnb, I think it's just management fee. And then on VRBO, whatever, it's admin fee or something. So it's another ticket line item that, people won't maybe be excited about, but it's an additional, it benefits everybody. So the guest pays for it, but they're also protected and I don't have to involve them in any damages. So it's just a
Do
line
you
item.
tell them? Do you tell them in your listing what it's for? Like we charge $28 per stay or per night, or is it per night or per stay?
It's per stay, but I haven't. $28 per night would make me rethink it because that's
Yeah, I
ridiculous.
was like,
But
wait a minute.
yeah, and I think they have a tiered system where if you do a certain number of stays, like 100 or something more, your pricing tier drops. That's what I like too. So I think it had potential to get up to like 15 or 14 or $15. Um, if you work for Wavo and you're interested in coming on the show, that's a plug too. You could probably explain this a lot better than I could. But anyways, yeah, it's per stay. So
Well, my understanding too is that Wavo will do one property and Safely won't anymore. Because I know that when I first got my property, I did get a quote with Safely, and I think it ended up being like 40 something a night. But I had to prepay all that up front. I don't know. Do you have to prepay everything up front with Wavo,
no, they just have
or it's
access to
like,
your. They
go ahead?
have they have some way to integrate into your property management software, so they'll go in and they'll look at your bookings for that month, and then they'll bill you for that month. But you should have already collected those funds, so you basically just break even, or if you yeah. So, um, yeah,
Okay, so you don't. So basically, the link to your hospitable account, they see that the month of June you have 4 reservations. They send you a bill for 100 and whatever, $110 or whatever, and then you just pay it at the first of the month or something for the whole month.
yes, and then the owners, since we are co-host, the owners get paid that additional $28, and then on every invoice we are being reimbursed $28 back per booking, and then we are paying Wavo for their insurance coverage. And yeah, like you said, there's other companies like Safely and Superhog and stuff that do like this. I think Safely had a 10 property minimum to get to do business with them, so we're at 8, so it wasn't an option anyways. And plus, I'd heard good things about Wavo, so we went with them. So anyways, I just wanted to highlight that is always an option. You don't have to do it. I don't like the fact that you have to rely on the online travel agencies to dictate what you can get reimbursed for somebody else's problem. It's in their hands, and I don't like that. And then you've got to answer
No,
to
that's great.
owners. Yeah, so
That's
I like that
great.
aspect of it. So gotten a lot of other people on
So
board
you
with it. So
just so you just told the owners like, hey, you're gonna get a $28 increase every booking because of this insurance that I added, but I'm passing it on to the guests, so you just got to reimburse me. This is
1,000%.
what you told them.
Yeah, and
Cool.
nobody gave me pushback. It was just like, hey, well, you're giving us an additional 1,500 of incidentals on our property that the guest is paying for. Like, if you're saying no to that as an owner, you're just a problem owner. Like, you don't
Yeah.
understand that this is to benefit everyone. And yeah, you should be reevaluating whether the longevity of that relationship if they're giving you pushback on things like that.
Cool. I like that. Well, one of the questions that wasn't there, I was going to ask, do you charge more than your cleaning fee for your cleaning fee? Like, if your
Um,
cleaner says $100, what do you charge? You charge $100?
No, typically I used to, but now I do more because there's more. I am now transitioning into paying all the cleaning fees. So sometimes with that, it comes for more added cost and stuff like that. And then eventually we're going to start adding like, we're going to start, we're getting big enough to we're going to start supplying consumables. So that additional, $20 we might add to it is really just going back into the business. It's not like we're not profiting off of it. It's going to be used to go back in the business for things that we can purchase and stuff like that. So we usually make a little bit of money on the cleaning fee, but it's not going to the point where it's going to price us out from bookings. And yeah, it's something recently that we've done. but it's very
Yeah,
minimal.
that's what I do. That's what I do. I didn't do that last. I just recently did that too as well. I had switched my cleaner, and then I ended up actually going with Turno. Um, so she charges me a certain amount plus the Turno fee. Really, I mean, honestly, she charged me $100 to clean my unit. It's 108 through Turno. I charge 125, just because I provide coffee, Q-tips, tampons, toothbrushes, you know, uh, all that,
Exactly.
maxi pads, all that stuff. So it's like basically the consumables. So it's like, um, you drink as much coffee as you want, really, I
Yeah.
guess. But
Yeah, that and then all the other line items that we're invoicing owners back for, we don't, we're not adding our percentage more on top of that just to nickel and dime them. It's like for the most part, the cost that we pay is the cost they pay, for the exception of a few fees that it just makes sense to where we can add a little bit more because of it helps us out in our business to do more. So, uh,
right,
yeah,
it's awesome. Um, I may look into Wavo. It's kind of cool. It sounds pretty cool. So when you submit, I'm going to ask more on it because
go for
I
it.
think other people might want to know. So if I were to submit a claim on Wavo, what do? You just pull open an app and submit a claim, or what?
I don't know
How
if they have an
easy is
app.
it?
I don't know if they have an app, but their desktop, just go on their site. You have a little portal, log in. It probably takes a minute or two just to fill out the information, guest name, dates, let's see, then whatever the length of their stay was, basic stuff like that, 5 or 6, 7, 8 things. And then they got a description, explain as much as you want, as detailed as you can be. And then it's like, you need pictures. So if you're not already practicing this, you need to be practicing it anyways. Yeah, pictures of any damages or any incidentals that take place, submit those as well as a line item receipt that they know you paid $120 because this lamp broke, whatever. And then they can invoice you back for the 120, and they know the guest that did it, and they can just verify all that. They haven't given me any pushback, so but all of my claims have been legit, obviously. Um, so it's been pretty easy to submit claims.
So you go and purchase whatever you need to purchase first, and then you're like, okay, I'll submit my claim now because you have all your
Yeah,
stuff.
and for some reason, if they didn't, and I had to pay for it, and if they didn't, for whatever reason, there's certain clauses of certain things that I don't know, maybe something with a hot tub. It's like wear and tear is not covered, right? Wear and tear is not covered. Guest damage is covered. So if it's something that I can't get, then at that point, it's like, hey, owner, this isn't covered for this reason. Now I need to be reimbursed for it. So that's the way I've got it set up. But I'm still learning every single day. So it could be subject to change next time I talk to you about it. But so far, good experience.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Yeah.
So we had another question too. Do you have that in front of you, or you need me to pull it out?
No, I had one that was you were wanting to know about what's the best way or how do we go about handling cancellations. I don't know. What do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
Oh,
How do you handle that?
I thought we were actually going to talk about a different question. Uh, I always fine. I always hold within my policy. So whatever my policy is, which I believe I'm firm. If they're not within the time, then they don't get a refund. If they're within the time to get 50% refund, they get 50% refund. If they're within the time to get 100% refund, they get 100% refund. Um, however, I have in the past, and I would, based on your gut, if the person asks you to move it out of the, no, they're not asking you to move out of the cancellation, but they're asking you to move the dates, which ends up out of the cancellation. I mean, I would do it based on the gut. It just depends. I mean, I've had people that do it and then there was no issue and they just rebook and then they come back again a second, third, fourth time. Sometimes you have to work with people, but like I said, it is a business, so you don't have to work with people at all. I don't if I don't have like if I don't feel that it's necessary. Um, but if like they tell me what the reason is, and I can just tell based on my vetting that what they're honest people, then I'll be like, okay, that's fine. But I'm not going to refund if they're supposed to be here tomorrow and they were like, oh, I got to cancel. Can I get a refund? I'm like, no. But I have had people like not stay at my house and book it and not come, and I've refunded them the cleaning fee. I didn't tell them I was going to, but I just did it. I was like, I told the cleaner, hey, I don't need you. She's like, oh, no problem, whatever. And then I just sent the cleaning fee to them, to the resolution center just to be cool. And then the guy even, they left me 5 stars because of it and said, oh, thank you. You didn't even have to do that. Yeah, I know I didn't have to, but I did it, right? But, it's good customer service, right? So if you could provide
Yeah.
good customer service as well and not hinder your business, then I don't see an issue.
Yeah, it's kind of tough on the move dates things because people are, it's out there. People know that if they move the dates outside of their cancellation policy. So that's what Matt's talking about. If you have a guest that wants to reschedule and then they want to move the dates that extend past your cancellation policy, they understand that if you accept that, now they can cancel for free. So it's really kind of shady, and you do got to vet those people. And I try and find a way around that at all costs because I think that people kind of know this. And if you do it, you're kind of a POS, but it is what it is, and people will do that what they can to get their money back if they can no longer come. So I'll definitely watch out for that. Another thing that I do, I think this is pretty much the best practice that I've learned, is when you have a guest that wants to cancel and they're going to lose all their money and they're not going to be able to come. What I like to do is stick to the cancellation policy, but I allow them to cancel, but I say you need to cancel on your end. Now, when the guest cancels on their end, they won't get the refund. But with that being said, there's a clause where I'll say, hey, if I can get this refilled, I will reimburse you what money I make. It's the difference between that. So like if it was $1,000 booking that they were supposed to, they cancel, they don't get their money back. But I fill it for $800. I will still get paid out the 1,000. I'll give them their $800 back. So at least they'll get most of it back, but I'm not losing the revenue what I was going to lose because they wanted to cancel. So everyone wins if it gets rebooked. If it doesn't get rebooked, then the cancellation policy was the cancellation policy. Like, sorry, that's the rules. That's how we have to do things. So I like that option of like, hey, cancel now because I'm going to guarantee get my money anyway. So I win. And then you might win because if it does get booked, then I'm going to do the honest thing and I'm going to give you the difference back. So you still get hopefully most of your money back if I can get it rebooked.
Yeah, and I do that too. I think really, honestly, I think that's kind of the standard, in the industry for a lot of people. It's like if I can rebook those nights, then I'll refund you what the difference is. Because for those who don't know, if you book something a month from now and then you cancel it a week from now, you're not going to get the same rates as you were a month ago. Because our pricing is dynamic. Think about it as the opposite of airlines. So the closer you get within a date on the airline, the more it costs. The closer you get with the date on a rental, short-term rental, usually the lower it costs. So it costs more the farther out you are generally. So you're not going to get the same amount that you would have prior. But I'd also probably, do you refund the cleaning fee as well when it comes to that if you were to get it booked?
Every time I've done it, I've kept an eye on it, but Airbnb already automatically catches it and sends it back. So like I've never had to do that. When I have a cancellation, I like just look at it. At some point, Airbnb realized they canceled, didn't stay there, and they'll automatically send it back. Probably on VRBO, maybe you need to check that. I don't know off the top of my head if they do that. But yeah, I'll definitely if they don't if the travel agency doesn't already give the cleaning fee back, then yeah, I mean you're not paying for a cleaning, so that would just be like you just taking more money from them. So I
No,
would.
some people like pay their cleaner like a cancellation fee, so that's why I didn't know. I don't know if you do or not. I don't think in our markets we don't really pay a cancellation fee. I think in our markets our cleaner are just happy to have a job to clean the house.
Yeah, I have the same cleaner that cleans all of our units. So when you have that kind of leverage, it's more of like, hey,
Damn.
we work together, right? Like I feed you a lot of business, but like, I and the majority of your business is from coming from me. So I'm not trying to be arrogant here, but it's like, hey, I feed you, so let's work together and make
So
sure
what
that
if
we're
all 80 of your units had the same day turn on the same day? Would she be able to accomplish that?
Yeah, she kind of has a team. She's not just one cleaner, so she can break up
Uh,
into it depends on what the demand is, but we have not run into that yet. And like that comes back to the same thing of like not trying to sound look at me, but I mean I do for the most part come as a priority because I am bringing her a lot of business and a lot of other people that she cleans for may have one unit, that's it. And then another owner here that has one unit and it's like, hey, she understands that, we will take care of each other. So
Right. I would pay my cleaner more just so she'd be priority to me as well before I lost her. But I didn't lose her by anybody else's doing besides she got a really good job. But before everyone's like, oh, you're a dick and your cleaner quit. Oh, and by the way, I was going to translate for Austin when he said you're a POS. If you do that, rewind it a minute and find out what he said. That means piece of shit. I have no problem saying that. But I was just translating for Austin. So.
you're a badass, man. I can't believe you did say
Yeah,
that.
Billy badass.
No, just kidding, man. Yeah, I mean, think about it from a co-hosting perspective. Like, it's just general business, right? Like, if you have 12 clients and 10 of them are the same owner, I mean, it's best business practice that you're going to service. You're going to make sure that 10 properties is going to ideally come first. I mean, it is what it is. You only
Sure.
have so much. You only have so much attention to give to people, so it's like you got to make sure that that happens. And she does well about that. I'm super blessed for her service. She's been with us for like 3 years, so no complaints. She takes care of business.
You're like almost to the point to where you didn't make your own cleaning company over there.
Yeah, I think long term that's definitely on the radar. I don't know how I would do it, but that's definitely something I've always been interested in doing and seeing about, vertically integrating another business of building a cleaning business in there. Since I'm centralized in one market, it might be doable while staying out in the Texas Hill Country. So I don't think I'm
Yeah.
there yet, but I think that day might come where like, who knows, but buying a
Well,
cleaning business or starting one.
whatever she's charging you, just raise it $40, and then use her infrastructure, and then. But no, you got to use insurance and all that stuff. I mean, unless you do all 1099s. But I mean, I did. I mean, I did hear a podcast one time where a guy was like, "We didn't have any cleaning companies where we were, so I started one." And if you listen to us, which I doubt you do, but if you have started a cleaning company and you're in short-term rentals, please just hit us up. We like to talk about it because that's something we're interested in. Or if you started a laundry service in short-term rental, any kind of business you started from short-term rentals to continue on to uh, help with short-term rentals, we want to know about it. So hit us up.
Yeah, definitely. If you own a cleaning company, that we would have some questions for you for days. I think that would be very interesting. I don't even know if it'd be owning a cleaning company that would be what I'd want to do. I think it'd just be like as simple as getting cleaning in house. Like it's just another service we offer. It's just more revenue coming in. So it's all our properties that we manage. We're going to service. I don't know if I want to take on additional cleaning projects, just specialize in one thing and just our properties. Who knows? We'll see. That's a long way away, but definitely would be really cool.
Yeah, I know somebody who has a cleaning company out here in Houston, but it's not like that kind of cleaning company. It's like a maid's company, house cleaners, like normal house cleaners. And they make pretty good money doing it. So
Yeah, I think the talking to my cleaner, she's the hurdle that she has in her business is doing short term rentals is very busy during busy season, and then being able to float the off season and pay to keep her people on staff when she doesn't have short term rental turns as much as she does. So like finding more work for them. So it's like she balances it out with doing like wedding venue cleans and residential house cleans that need regular maintenance. But it's like she's like, man, the staff that I need to do the short term rentals is big, so I need it, and then I got to like condense down because I'm not making as much revenue because there's not short term rentals. So it's kind of a tough thing. It's almost like it would be best if you had like a year round market, if whatever wherever that is, if that exists to where it's like pretty steady, and it's just like our business goes from up and
well,
down.
I was talking when I was in Gulf Shores, I was talking to actually John Hodge about this, and he has a similar situation. So he has like I think it's about 9 condos in one area, and so what he did is instead of paying his cleaner per clean, he was like, "Okay, well look, Austin, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pay you X amount per month every month, all year long, no matter what it is," and that person cleans for him every time. What he does is that, as far as my understanding, I may have it wrong, is that same sheets, same blankets, same everything, right? With that stuff, to where they're also streamlined. It's like she could swap it out if she needs to, whatever. She could do 8 turns on a day, 9 turns on a day, but her income never changes, and that she was super grateful for that. Her income was always the same every month, no matter what. So some months she would work at all. And some months she'd work hard, right? So I guess it's kind of like if you were a teacher and you were to like, okay, I'm opting to get paid for 12 months versus 9 months, which I know you could do as a teacher in some, I mean, I know you could do it in California and Texas. I'm not sure if you do it everywhere, but, you know, you would be doing that. So I guess it's kind of similar to where it's like you always have that income. It's like you just don't have that mad money during crazy season, right? So I guess you would take like, okay, here's what it is. I spent $30,000 on cleaning, all these units. So what I'm gonna do is like, would you rather me do your monthly plan so that way you can get paid every month, right? So your cleaner's not hurting, and then you're not really hurting. You're just holding the money, kind of, right? Um, and then yeah, I mean, shit, put in a money market account, make a little money on it while you're holding it. I don't know, but
No, that's a good idea. I think that's actually a really great idea. You just spread the money out, take out what you would be paying them for the year, and just kind of budget it and just say, hey, it's like this much for cleaning. So break that down into monthly payments. This is your budget. This is what we need to do every month to get the job done.
yeah.
No, it's a good idea. I never thought about it that way. Just, huh.
And then if it goes over, like, tell her like, look, if it comes under, then whatever, it is what it is, right? We could discount it off the next year. But if it comes over, I'll just pay the difference at the end of the year. Pay it right before tax season, right? Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
It's a good idea.
I mean, yeah. So and you may want to talk to him more about it, but I mean, I thought it was a pretty damn good idea, especially with the amount of units in the same building. Yeah, there's a little more travel time between your units, so you would have to streamline your linens, same towel, same sheets type deal, unless they're really good at keeping it organized. But then at the same token, she wouldn't have to have as many people working for her either, or she could take those teams, deploy them to those other houses, or whatever, however she wants to do it. It doesn't even matter, right? So, I mean, that'd be up to her, but really more like a flat rate for her and for you. So you know what's coming out every month for your cleaning budget. I guess the problem would be in the off season, right? Whether you can afford that or not.
Yeah, it's definitely something. I just made a note just to run some numbers and see what it looks like. You could do that, Good nugget.
Yeah. So cool. Well, that was 3, huh?
Yeah, that was 3.
Man, that was so easy though. We should have went for 4.
Yeah, I don't know if we've got anything else. You got anything else? I didn't write anything else
I
down.
do. I mean, I don't know. The question I wanted you to ask was the one about what do you do in your rentals to help with safety? So
Okay,
like I
Matt.
know like in mine,
So what do you do with your rentals to help with safety, Matt? Let's hear it. What do you got?
nothing. Fuck them. No, I no. I mean, the stairs are reflective. There's lots of lighting. I bolt on my desks to the wall. My headboard's bolted to the wall. Things like that stop things from falling on people. I heard, and I never thought about that until I heard this article that in Crystal Beach, Texas, it was probably a year and a half ago now, maybe 2 years, that a game cabinet fell on a child and killed her.
Jesus.
And I was like, holy shit, I better bolt everything down in this motherfucker. I don't want that happen to me, right? So,
Yeah, man.
yeah. But, what do you do?
Yeah. So first thing is have insurance, and of the insurance you
There's that.
have insurance. That's the first thing. And just, hey, who knows, man? Insurance is just a gray area. It's like you pay them all this money and you just hope that they cover you if something happens, and then maybe they don't. Who knows? It's ridiculous. But anyways, I think it's just, being at the property when you can. And I think for the most part, as an operator, having the good team on the ground, so the cleaner and the handyman that are there more frequently, and they have the eyes. And I think it comes down to them, they need to be able to communicate back to you. They need to be communicative and tell you when there's an issue, which our team does a really good job of. But it's that, and I think it's every time you get a complaint from a guest or something's mentioned, not necessarily in the review, in a message or a private note, hey, this was a little bit wobbly or whatever. You don't wait till a second or third complaint. You address it immediately and you get it on your list. Hey, fix this now. So I think it's to take, to be active, to be proactive. And then like whenever you know something might be a little off, even if it was a nitpicky guest that just complained about everything, but something is like, hey man, that might be a little bit off. I don't need to check these other 8 things they're crying about. But this one thing I think is a little bit off. We'll check that. And I think it's just being proactive whenever it comes up. Go ahead and get it taken care of. Have
Oh
insurance.
yeah.
Have insurance. Have good people that report to you, and then fix the problems because I think that's the way you minimize your risk. But something like a game cabinet falling on a kid, or maybe that's preventative. But there's some things that are just it doesn't matter. You're not going to be able to stop it from happening.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because I'll see things on the internet where like, oh, this guest is complaining the chair broke and they got hurt. And someone will say, like, did you know there was something wrong with the chair? Well, the other guest said it was wobbly, but like
Yeah,
what? Like, so fix the fucking chair, buy sturdy chairs. Like the bed frames, for instance. I only buy the metal bed frames. I don't buy wood bed frames. I don't buy, you know what I mean? I buy metal bed frames because it's not gonna break. So I don't want it to break. I don't want to have to deal with it broken, nor do I want anybody to get hurt from it breaking. And I'm kind of like a battery freak, so like I go to my unit quarterly at least. And I change the batteries, every 6 months or so, just in the controllers. But I change the fire alarms and the carbon monoxide detector every year. Every year, I make sure I do that right before summer, right before busy season. I change the batteries and all the detectors. I mean, and people were like, "Oh, why do you do that? That's overkill. It's going to last like 10 years." Well, if it doesn't, then what? And it's like, what's the cost of freaking $20 worth of batteries? Like, it's nothing. Like, it is what it is. It's negligent to me, you know? I mean, it costs me more to drive my ass over there than to put
yeah,
batteries in smoke detectors. So, I try to be proactive with stuff like that and, check all the furniture and make sure all the bolts are tight and the tables and all that. But all my furniture's, I pick pretty sturdy stuff. I try to.
yeah.
Look, you know,
Yeah, I think from an owner's perspective too, at least for the ones you own, I mean, you can't do this as you're scaling, but like you have to stay at your property too, right? Like you need to go there for the weekend, block off some time. Like that's what you bought it for anyways, right? To use it as an owner. You
mhm.
also need to go there just to, enjoy it, bring your family, make some memories, but also like when you're staying there, you're going to be like, "Oh, that's fucked up over there. I need to fix that." Or I didn't notice that. Okay, well, I'll just bring my tools and fix this while I'm on my trip. And typically, maybe it turns into a work trip when it wasn't supposed to be. But I think, yeah, staying in your unit as well is a huge one.
Yeah, experience it as a guest and to to what you're saying about a work trip. I mean, hey, it's a write off, right? I mean, you gotta
Yeah,
go do some work. It is what it is. If you gotta fly there, but so normally, I don't like to take all my tools with me, but I mean, I have like almost all my necessities and all my drill bags, and I have a hammer and everything else, and I have like 10 bags that I take, and I just take all that stuff with me, and then 97% of the time, I don't need anything else. Every once in a while, I might need something. I may just do it out in the hardware store if I have to, but or just okay, well that could wait. That's okay, but I'll just take it all with me. So if I don't have any issues. But yeah. And I would also recommend too that if you are going to book your house for like a weekend or well, I know nobody wants to because you don't want to lose the revenue, whatever. You don't want to lose the revenue in your weekend market, book it during the weekdays, take some vacation. But take an extra day so that actually you can enjoy it versus just doing stuff around it because people lose sight of that. And I lose sight of it as well. Like I bought the house to be able to spend time with my family, go to the beach, enjoy it, barbecue, have fun, play games, whatever. And I go there and I work. So it's like take an extra day so you can actually enjoy the house. And I think you were at your house recently, weren't you?
yeah. I've kind of pivoted from
I may have seen some of the social media.
Yeah, I've kind of pivoted from that. I used to do that and bring my tools, and I had like a little, these 5 tools that should give me everything I need to get the job done. Now I just go, try not to bring any tools, and I'm like, here is a list that I made, and then when I leave, handyman, these are the 5 things I noticed as a guest. Can you go and fix these? And I'll just pay for it now. I don't know. Just don't want to spend the time exactly like you said. You want to just freaking relax and have a good time. So, but the point is, staying there helps you identify from a guest perspective what's going on.
So funny. So funny how that works, because now you live way closer, right? What are you, like a 30-minute drive?
Yeah, 20 minutes, 25
or something?
25.
Yeah. And you were like 2 hours before,
Yeah,
and you were driving up there on the
3
weekends
hours.
to go fix shit.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, and you were going, yeah. Ain't that funny? Ain't that funny how shit works, though?
Yeah, I think it was more when I first started, and I was like, okay, what am I really getting tired of doing that someone else could do that doesn't going to cost me that much money? Now I'm not. Now I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm paying for everything for the most part. I'm just going to pay for it, get my time back.
Yeah. There you go. That's awesome.
Cool.
Well, we did 4. So we did 4. Go to the store. I don't know what's a rhyme with that, but we appreciate we appreciate everybody listening, and thank you so much. We had 4 questions and added some extra flair to it, and we really hope to see y'all in the next episode. Like, subscribe, follow us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Follow us personally and podcastly. I don't know, but appreciate it, everybody.
Peace.
The Co-Host Bros Podcast.